Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Tammy Talks show again. We're glad that you are coming in on. We're going to talk about a good topic today, and we hope you all enjoy it. It's going to be my son and I. We're going to talk today and share in, and we hope you all share in the conversation. I know that we had said that it was coming back on talking about more of the political things, but we're working on that and we're getting some stuff together for a great show for you all later on in the month and later on next month concerning that situation, concerning the political world. But today we want to talk with you all on relationship. And I know that a lot of people are going through difficult times, even after being up in the house with your husband and your wife, or being away from different people, even on your jobs. You got to go back to work. You got to try to get back in the scheme of things of working and your work relationship and all that stuff. So maybe some people are having problems dealing with that, getting back to work and getting back, in the scheme of things, working and coming home, and it's just like everything is out of balance and everything. But we're going to talk on relationship today, because there's not only just a relationship with a husband and a wife. You have a relationship with your children. You have a relationship with your working constituents that you work with on the job. You have people in relationship with your parents and sisters and brothers. So we're just going to talk on relationship today. And I know a lot of people may be going through things in their marriage. I hope it's something that we can say today to help you in that area. And everybody not just living a happy and a hunky-dory life and everything just peachy. Because if you're in this world, you're going to have a lot of difficult things going on. You're going to have a lot of challenges going on in your life. You're going to have a lot of things going on while you're working, a lot of things going on when you get home, a lot of things going on when you're out, and about. So it's just going to be so many things going on in your relationship. So we're going to have to, we just want to encourage you today to let you know that there are people thinking about you, and we're giving you some things to think about. And, maybe I'm going to throw this in here, because I'm always throw this in on my conversation when I'm talking about relationship, love, family, whatever. Things that are going on in your life, I'm always throw that thing in on therapy. If you need therapy, go seek the help, because there's nothing wrong with it. But on today, my relationship topic is relationship matters. It does. It matters to have. You have to have people in your life. And when there are people in your life, you got to know how to have a relationship with them, how to talk with them, and how to deal with them. Even if you're on a job and you with somebody, you're very quiet, a quiet person, and you're working on a job, but there's somebody always mouthy around and always got something to say to the boss, always got to say something about what you're doing. You got to learn how to deal with those type of people, right? Mm-hmm. You have to learn how to even handle yourself around them. Because I didn't have some jobs where I had to just be quiet and, stomp the floor and do like my sister-in-law used to tell me. She said, stomp the floor 3 times, turn around 10 times, and count to 10. Because by the time you turn back around, maybe they'll be gone, the subject be changed, or something to be different. But a lot of times it's hard to deal with difficult people. And you have to learn how to deal with difficult people, even have a relationship in that manner, on how to handle them. Because like I said, I've been on jobs where I had to walk in and just be quiet. And I'm a quiet person when I'm around a lot of people. I'll just be quiet and, do what I got to do. But when you come in and start nitpicking on what I'm doing, I'll still be quiet. But you always got people that come around and try to ruffle your feathers. But you got to learn how to handle those relationships. You got to learn how to handle yourself, even in the workplace, even around the house. So dealing with relationship on the day. First off, it start off with love. Love is one of the most profound emotions known to a human being. Mm-hmm. There are many kinds of love, but many people seek its expression as a romantic relationship. Mm-hmm. We don't even look at it as being in a relationship. I usually hear people say, have you heard this song where people would say, if a male and a female trying to be friends, they can't be friends because most of the time they'll get involved. That's not true. There are some people that can, a male and a female could be friends, and that relationship will stay on a friend base.
Yep.
They never have to get romantic or anything. They'll be there for you when you need them. They got the ear for you and all this stuff, but they don't want you romantically. So there's a such thing as having a relationship where you don't have to even think about being romantic with the person, or female, or I'll say the opposite sex. But a lot of times people say that can't happen, but it can happen. If you are a strong-minded person and you are a true developer of friends, you will know how to put the line up and have that relationship as that person just being your friend. Have you ever been through something like that, son, where you needed have friends around you, young girls or whatever, just be a friend to you?
Yes.
Not seeking more.
Yes. It's my god sister. I won't say her name because she probably get embarrassed. But yes, she's a good friend. Still is today. And we're just brother and sister. Like nothing else different. Nothing in that. Call her today. We talk like brother and sister, and that's good.
Yeah.
And there's some situations I have been in that I've been cool with females, but they wanted something else. But then they switched it off, which was good because then we started a brother sister different things like that, and that's good because first of all, as a male and a female, you establish that in the beginning.
Right.
That, hey, we're just gonna be friends.
In the beginning,
and if you feel like something going that way, you can always shift it back, and that's how I usually do. I shift it to, this is it, this is how it's going to be, and this is going to stay there. And most of the time, when I do that, it stays into that relationship, and the people are mature enough to leave it there, and it grows, and it be good, and that also goes with the relationship I have with my mother as well, because, she shows me how to treat a young lady and not to, make a young lady feel bad. And,
right.
Even when I'm finding a companion, I listen to my sister. I talk to her about different stuff, because of this generation. My mom, she's telling me about how to treat a lady in the ways that she grew up in.
He was going to say in the old days, the olden days.
Yeah, in that manner, and telling me how to do it. And then my grandma gave me wisdom, and my cousins and stuff, male cousins, in the way she, how she was brought up in her generation, how to treat a lady and how to do it. And I'm glad about that. I listen to that. I like to listen to those different different generations, and I listen so I can apply it to myself, so I won't be able to break any hearts, and then also waste my time and their time. Right. I'm the type of person I don't want to waste any time, because that could have been space I could use for the right person.
Right.
So I listen, and I say, how can I say this to get your attention? How can I say that? And what can I do to keep it in the friendship level? What can I say, without hurting the person's feelings, and still be cool with the person, have a relationship with the person. It might not be love or anything like that, but it could be brother and sister, it could be person we can hang out with, best friends, It can be if you establish that in the beginning.
Right.
But if you don't establish that and something else come about it, or if you want it to come about something different, and you don't establish that, that could be cause a problem too if you have somebody else. I know my mom didn't bring it up, but I'm going to add this too. When you're in a relationship and you want opposite sex friends, you have to establish that too in the beginning. Say if you have a friend, before you find someone that is of the opposite sex, you make sure that the person you're dating knows that that's what it is, and that's it. Right. So that she won't feel or he won't feel intimidated and don't trust you.
Let me ask you this question. Well, okay, I'm already in a relationship, and then I get a friend. Okay, get a guy friend. I'm already in a relationship. Should that guy friend of mine be a friend of my guy that I'm already dating, or it's okay that he's just my friend? Because some people say, well, if he's going to be your friend, he need to be my friend too. But what if that person, because some people want, he could be your friend, he could be my friend, that's how it should be. Do you think that's the way it should be, or should that person be able to have that person as her friend and not the boyfriend or their friend too? Do you think that's a good combination? Wait, before you say that, let me say hello to some people. Hold the thought. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Okay, I'm gonna say hello. This is here's Sharita. Hello, how you doing? Arizona, how are you doing? Dominique, how you doing? Sean, how are you? Keisha, how are you? Erica, baby, how are you? I see people chiming in. I'm so glad to see y'all tuning in. We're gonna talk some good stuff. Okay, now I ask you that question. Go ahead.
If you keep it separate, then it's something. I think this is my opinion. I think that you want something else different, because if you have the opposite sex as a friend to yourself, then you're hiding something. Because I should be able to be comfortable, or the person should be able to be comfortable coming around you with your other significant other, and they should be comfortable enough because they see you there, they see you, the other person present, and they know it's not a threat. They see our interactions, or it might be a threat to them, and they can see the interactions and say, "Oh, you don't need to be around that person." But I think the person should be able to be in the light.
Well, I think if I'm in a relationship, and then if I do have a friend that's there, if I have already established to that friend that this is my boyfriend here, this is who I'm with, and you my friend, but you're not coming between us. And then if I already, the one that I'm with now got to be able to trust me to know that I'm not going to even try to go that way with that young person, because a lot of relationships get messed up on dating and all everything because the other person have other friends. It's just what your motive is as to having that friend.
Yep.
Because you might just have that motive to have that person there for just in case this relationship don't work out.
Yep.
So, and then that other person gonna pick up on it that you're dating, because we all have senses. Yep. And we pick up on if you with somebody already in a relationship, that person gonna pick up on that friend that you have, and that friend there for just in case. A lot of times people say, well, they can't pick up on it. We just friends. We just hanging out. We just doing this. But if you got a friend and your friend can't be friend with the friend that you're friend with, something is wrong with the friendship. But in that relationship, it have to be trust established. If the trust is established in the relationship, I tell anybody, don't break that trust, because once you break that trust, it damaged the relationship. And a lot of people say, well, I asked them to forgive me, so they ought to forgive me, forget about it, and move on. But when the shoe get on the other foot, it's hard for you to walk in that shoe too. So you got to put yourself in that position and say, well, I'll be able to handle it and move on. But a lot of people does have a forgiving heart and will forgive you, get their relationship back, thinking things going on, and then all of a sudden that person walk out and say, well, I don't want you anymore because you hurt me previously. That's not the right thing to do, but a lot of people do that. But I want to talk to you all today on establishing a relationship and being true in the relationship. If you're not going to be true in the relationship, why get the relationship started? Because you are dealing with people's emotions, you're dealing with their feelings and all that. And like I'm saying, it's not even in relationship, even relationship on a job. You've built a work relationship, and a lot of people will even break that work relationship. You know, you got people around you and y'all doing the job good, and you trusting that person enough to share some information with the person. But if that person share your information with somebody else and you say, well, I just told them, I thought we had a work relationship here. So if you are even establishing a work relationship, keep your work relationship true. Keep it trustworthy. And keep it accurate. But it's hard for people to do that nowadays. It's hard in this world that we're living in to do that, but you can do it. It is possible to hold on to good relationship, because it's hard to find people that even trust you nowadays. They'll say they trust you, but it's hard to even be trustworthy because of the times that we're living in. We're living in times that back in the day, like you said, back in the old days, like he was about to say about our day, back in the old days, in my day of bringing, when I was brought up, when you found a friend, you found true friends. But we're in the electronic days and the digital days where when you tell a friend something, they'll blast it on Facebook.
Yeah.
They probably won't even call your name out, but they'll put it on there. Facebook. You know, I was talking to somebody today. They said that's. Then you know, like, well, I'm the one that told you that, right. And I know you're talking about me. You ain't put my name on it, but you done put my claim on it because I know what I said and I know what I told you. So even in that wise, you have to be careful because people have entrusted something into you to tell you. And even in a husband and a wife relationship, when we have established our relationship and we tell the husband something, the husband go out and tell somebody else, and we find out that the husband told somebody or the wife told somebody else, they get back to us like, what you doing telling our business and putting it out in the street? You have to be careful with all of that in relationship. A relationship bond is something great. When you establish that friendship or you establish that relationship, try to hold on to it.
Yes. And also, when you are in a relationship, don't change the patterns. What I mean by not changing the patterns is if you are one way for, I say, maybe like the first 3 or 4 months, and then you change your patterns of that relationship or what the person told you they maybe like or dislike or whatever, and you start changing the patterns, then for me, I look at patterns. So if the patterns stay the same, and then you change it, it makes me scared. Like, okay, so what are you changing? Why are you changing your patterns?
Yeah.
Because I've seen these patterns before,
right.
And you know, showing me again. The last time those patterns showed up, the relationship was broken. So you have to, and if you break that pattern and you maybe break that trust, then you have to repair the patterns back and make sure that pattern doesn't change.
Right.
Because you put this trust in there, you know, and that's in any relationship with mother and father, friends, relationship. Don't change the patterns.
Right.
And if you do change the patterns, make sure you explain why you changed the patterns and repair the patterns. So that the next time it comes up, or maybe if the patterns revert, you know that, okay, well, they just did something different, but I know they're going to come back and it's going to be okay.
Right.
You know, so that you may, because we are human and we may slip up, may do something different, but keep the same patterns.
Okay, even on relationship, and we're going to talk about right now, relationship in a marriage or I guess dating stage or whatever. There are 5 habits that are likely to push a partner away. Too much criticism. When they're doing something, you always gotta criticize what they're doing.
Why you doing it like that?
Why you doing it like that?
Do it like me.
Yeah. Why you saying it like that? You gotta say it like this, or because they're coming up with something to criticize you about. So this is one of the things: criticism, and then always arguing, but the arguments don't match what the subject you're talking about or what you're arguing over. That's one of them. And another one is ignoring the importance of the complaint. You know, if a partner or a friend, even in a conversation with your friend, and they trying to tell you what bothered them, what you said to them and how you said it, and then you're not going to be in compliance with that subject of what they told you it was. You're going to bring up something that happened a while back or talk about something else or what they did to you, not staying in compliance with what the argument is about. And then you ignoring it. And then also lack of empathy to the emotion and the distress that the person is coming to you with the problem. You've got a lack of empathy about it. You talking about it, and then like if you come tell me something and I go, oh, but it don't matter, it don't mean nothing. That's a lack of empathy. Or you go like, well, it was done like that. What do you mean? But you got to show some empathy, even in relationships. And a lot of people lose their relationship because these are the 5 things that be missing. And when the person walk away from them or decide to leave, they say, well, why are you leaving me? What's going on? Because these things have started occurring in your relationship. And then even with the technology that we have nowadays, and it was stating how I was looking up what the different therapists was talking about what happened in relationships. And like I said, the lack of empathy and, you know, the subject matter that we're talking about is not discussed. You're talking about something else, and then this technology is talking about being on the phone all the time. You know, we could be in a conversation and you could be in your phone, and that's so important what you're doing right now, more than what we're discussing, what I'm concerned about, what is hurting me, what is bothering me. That's not important, because, you know, that's you feeling that way at this time and not me feeling this way. But in relationship, you got to always think about the other person. Think about, pay attention to what they're trying to say to you if you want the relationship to continue. Right. But a lot of times we think we'll take people for granted. We'll say they'll always be there. And then when they start backing up, I was even reading where it was saying when people start to be in arguments and then disagreements or whatever, and one shut down and don't want to listen to what the other person has to say, they're beginning to disconnect themselves.
Right.
And when disconnection comes, that can break up a relationship. You know, I've heard a lot of young people that I've talked with in relationships and concerned about their marriages. They're concerned about their marriages, and they tell me the things that are lacking in it. Mm-hmm. And then they don't see it anymore. It started out good, but now it's just like they're cruising through nothing. Mm-hmm. And then when they get ready to turn away and walk away, that's when the other partner's eyes awaken and their eyes come open as to saying, what the problem is. You tell me what's wrong. Can we fix it? But while I'm talking to you, asking you about fixing it, you don't hear me. You're not listening. But you hear me, but you're not listening.
Right.
A lot of times people can hear you, but not be listening to you. You could be talking to a friend or something concerning the relationship that you all have, and you want to get it right, but they're not listening. They're hearing you, but they're not listening because they tuned in and checked out of the conversation. And a lot of times when people check out of the conversation, that can mess up a relationship also. You have anything else, son?
Yes, I'm going to talk about the different things that push people away. Like, also, you said this too, which sparked my attention. It's like when you're in a relationship, you're not in it by yourself.
Right.
Now, I'm a type of person is I listen to what you have to say, and I try to fix it, you know, because at the end of the day, it's two people. And if I always think about me and want what I want, then it's just a one-sided relationship, and it's not going to go anywhere, because if it's something that I wanted, if I'm not getting it, then I'm going to check out and be like, you know what, I'm not getting what I want. But if you give what you want and you get it, and then you might get it back. If you want love, if you want attention, if you want all that, give it, and then you may get it back. Or and if you don't get it back, then that means that, okay, well, then they really don't care about me.
Right.
Or they really don't. But if you're giving it out, and that person giving out, then you're treating yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're making yourself happy because you're giving it. And if you're in a relationship that you're giving it and you don't get it back, it depends on whatever relationship it is. It could be all of them. And you don't get it back, then you don't need that relationship. Sometimes God will push that person back or block that feeling that you need because it's going to help you, not hinder you. You know, a lot of I go fatherless and motherless houses. There might be something that father or mother is doing that you don't need to see or need to have in your space, because God was trying to shield you from it. You know, and you may be angry because I didn't have that growing up. But how many people didn't have that and they made it better because they didn't have it? You know, and that's the reason why God didn't want you to have it, because He wanted you to give you an extra push. You know, and if you had it, you probably might have hindered you from getting where you need to get to.
Yeah.
You know, and also like relationship is just like a boat. It's a ship. It keeps moving, keeps going. You know, I use a cruise ship. You may add people on there, people may fall off.
Right.
You know, and don't be upset for those people that's falling off. You're just making space for something else to get back on.
I like that.
And a cruise ship never keeps the same passengers. No. There may be, like I heard on, I'm going to give a Tyler Perry reference because I love all his movies. He said that there's two different kind of friends and relationships. You have a root and you have leaves.
All right.
And the leaves fall off eventually, but the roots stay there. You don't have to talk to them every day. You don't have to be around them every day. But when you pick up the phone and call that person, or if you hang out it's like y'all never not hanged out,
Right.
and you can tell them everything, and then it's good, and you don't have to worry about nobody else hearing it.
Right.
You know, and I'm that type of root. I'm a root. I'm not a leaf.
Right.
I'm a root. If you tell me something, you will never hear it again. I will encourage you, and you can keep it moving. Right. Or you can stay. It's up to you. But I'm the root. I'll just be there for you, and I do that in any relationship I had. I'm a root. I'm gonna stay right there by your side, and I'm gonna help you through it for whatever, how many times you need it. It may be 2 days, 3 days, maybe a year, 2 years. If you fall off, I'm okay. You know, and you know, in relationships, I'm gonna go with, you know, dating. At the moment, I'm not dating, but I'm seeking to date. And when I do date, I'm gonna listen and not always say this is how I feel, or this is my opinion. What is your opinion? You know, what do you feel about it? You know, and I will try to apply it to myself so that I can better help you. And I'm not gonna I try not to push anybody. But when I see signs of you not you're not reacting to my love or what I'm giving out, then that's when I shut down, because I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm not gonna waste anything on you if you're not listening or don't want it, or you know, or you might be just that hurt, but you didn't tell me so I could understand where you're coming from. But if I'm telling you that, you know, say this way, I'm gonna do this too. I'm glad I brought this up. When you have someone that's hurt, you have to build them up. Right. And you don't have to, you know, you have to build them up. You have to make sure they're good enough so that they can give out. Right. You know, because if they can't give out because they gave out in the last relationship, or maybe they had something fatherless or motherless and they never dealt with it. You have to deal with that first before you can deal with each other, because there's always going to be bickering. And you should know that as a person going into something and be sensitive to it. Because if you don't be sensitive to it...
But what if the person don't tell you?
If the person don't tell you, you should... A lot of people won't tell you, but you should see signs. I'm going to give you the signs. When you see the signs, then communicate. Yeah, maybe let me change that. Or say if you touch the person and they do a little jump, or, you know, or they get distance for a little while, or maybe they have a moment where maybe a certain time of the year they'll break down. Like, if you got to notice those things, like, okay. You have to see those. And if you don't understand, if you don't see it, and you be like, why is she acting like this right now, or why he acting like that, you know, look, and you know, they might not come out with it. They may be those type of person that keep it in. Just, you know, introvert. They may be introvert, don't want to bring it out. Just try to be patient with them. Communicate with them. Hey, what you need, or
what's wrong? I see something is wrong this time of the year. I see when we get on this subject or conversation, you always shut down, or you get intense when we talk about this subject. What is the problem? Could you just explain to me what you've been through? You know, all that stuff, because all that plays a part in a relationship about what people have gone through or what people are living in at the present. Living in at the present. They're going through some things that some people don't know how to get out of a relationship and walk into a new relationship fresh. They come into the new relationship with all the baggage with them. And so when they bring in all the baggage with them, you know, you don't know when they start unpacking what they're unpacking. You don't know what they bring out of that bag. And then when they start unpacking the bag, you go like, oh my God. Yeah, but you said not clean clothes. When they start unpacking, then you go like, oh my God, what is going on here? I didn't know. There was a beautiful suitcase when she had it, but now that she opened it up, it was a designer bag. But now I find out what she got, a designer bag, but what she got in there? Oh my God. And also, you got to separate the clothes too. Yes. Because you don't want nothing to stain the other clothing. Because if you stain something, it'll overflow each other. Yeah. You got to separate the whites and put bleach on it so you get extra clean. Yeah. So even in relationship, you really have to walk in and you have to learn that person. And one thing you never can do, don't try to walk into a relationship and change that person from who they are. If they are who they are, accept them, and then they start working on their issues. And then when they work through the issues, don't try to bring those issues back up at them. Don't throw them up in their face like you're throwing dirty laundry in their faces. Just leave the relationship and leave the stuff that they had in the past so they can move on, and you all can have a great relationship. You can have a great foundation. I like the part when you said that about About the ship.
Oh, the boat.
Relationship, that, you know, it's just like a ship.
Yeah.
You know, some people get on, some people get off. You know, and that's how it is. You can have a relationship with somebody for years, and all of a sudden, when it's time for them to get off, don't get mad because they get off. You just wave to them, and you know, and keep them moving. Just be nice. Yeah, you said next.
That's a train.
You said the train, huh? But the next one to come on, you know, just open yourself up to be a good friend and into a relationship with them, because you never know. That next relationship might be the best relationship you ever had in your life. And some people, when they go through a broken relationship, they'll say, I never loved nobody the way I love this person. And then the one that's going to come along, they're going to love you the way you want to be loved. And you can't even love him right because you still hung up on the last relationship. It's time to let those things go. When you walk out of that relationship, close that door. Don't walk back up on that door, knock on that door again and open it up. Close that door. So when the next relationship come in, you can be open to receive the love and the friendship, the fellowship, everything that you want in it. So don't be so quick to close the door, because there are many relationships out here. You know, I was even thinking about what has happened recently, you know, that we've been watching in the news. I know we all been seeing it. This young man was, I guess, known in his community, but now he's worldwide known. And so many people that didn't get a chance to get to know him now. And so many people now, they even, I could say, love the young man because of what he represented and then what he's bringing to the world now. And what relationships he's had, because everybody that spoke of him spoke only good of him. And that's good. You know, you have all the relationships he had, they was all saying something good. Nobody said nothing negative. So that let us know right there that he was a person that knew how to have relationships with people. And all but one. And But still, they're gonna always be somebody don't like you. I don't care who you are or what you doing, how you doing it, and how you going about it. They're gonna always be some people that just don't. But that's okay. It's okay. It's good, because you keep the people that are around you in your circle. You just know how to treat them. You just know how to love them and keep in relationship with them, so you can grow and blossom and be the person that you should be, full and whole and develop, because you got true love and friendship around you. When you have those fake friends around you, like he always said that fake news, when you have fake friends around you, you know that they're fake. And you know that they're not real. Even on your jobs, you got people that say, well, I'm with you all the way, you know, whichever direction you go on in, you know that I'm behind you all the way, and you know we're gonna get to the next level together. But then when you go to the next level, you hear them talking about you, saying, how did you get there? Oh, I thought this and I thought that. But true friends, work on your relationships. Work on yourself, on how to have good relationships. Because some people don't know how to have good relationships, son. They don't, because they're always negative. And they never can say nothing positive. You know, if they say something positive about somebody, I believe they would regurgitate. Because they're saying something positive about someone. But you got to be able to, and you know, even the Bible says, you got to show yourself friendly if you want friends. So if you're showing yourself friendly and showing yourself in a relationship, good things will come back to you. You know, I just thank you all for tuning in on today. I see all the comments. Thank y'all so much. You know, we going to continue to bring conversations that hopefully that will help you. And I hope today that this helped you all a little bit. Maybe some people are trying to make a decision on their relationships that they're already committed in. And if some of the things that we talked about today is lacking in that relationship, you know, and you feel like you want to make an exit, or you feel like you want to go seek help, go seek that help. So the help will help you to come to the conclusion as to what you need to do in this relationship. You know, don't be so quick to run out. Go and seek help and see what you need to do to try to fix the relationship. If you done saw all the help that you can seek and it's still not good, and then you will get that assurance on your decision and the direction you should go. Because a lot of time in relationship, you can try all you want to. And you keep trying and keep trying, and hurt keep building, hurt keep building, keep trying, and then nothing change. And then the person get more angry at you, or tell you what you ain't doing and how you ain't handling the relationship, and pointing their finger at you when the finger should be pointed at them. But if you go seek some help, and both of you all are at the table, I don't care if it's you and a husband in a relationship and a wife, or if it's a friend, y'all want to hold that relationship, go seek some help. And let this person, let the professional tell you what's going on in that relationship and the decision you should make. If it's a hard decision that you can't make, maybe you need somebody else to help you make the decision. Because a lot of time in relationships, it's hard for us to make the decision, or hard for you to make the decision, or hard for them to make the decision. But if you go seek help, they will tell you what you need to do and how you need to do by listening. You got to listen, and they will listen to you and help you in that area.
Two last things. One is, don't be afraid to start any relationship with someone if they know someone else that you know. Because your relationship with the new person might be different than theirs. And if you have someone like that knows another person, don't listen to what their other person has to say about that person you're trying to be in a relationship with. Because it may be different for you, you know.
Right.
And number two is, when you are in a relationship, and you have some things in your life that maybe not worked out, or other things in your life that might not have been happy for you, might have been negative, you know, don't go into the new relationship looking negative, because it's not going to work out. You already going in to fail.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to work out for me because this stuff didn't work out. Or I didn't do this in the path of my life, or in my walk of earth, or whatever it is you do. It might not have worked. That might not have been the path that you should have walked in. Maybe you should have, you know, maybe that new relationship can put you in a new walk. My dad told a story the other day, you know, about my grandmother and a friend that she had, you know, and my grandmother couldn't get something at that moment, but their relationship with that friend or that person caused her to get what she needed. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Right.
And what relationship you have, or what rapport do you have to get something done that you need to get done at a moment. You might not have been talking every day, but just because you know that person, or just because you had a relationship with that person, you know, and it was good, you know, and you made a positive moment, you know, in that space of time, it caused you to get what you need in that moment. It caused you to get you need in the next moment. It could be 100 years from now, and you call that person, hey, I need to get on this job, whatever, or I need some help with this particular thing. Can you help me? Yeah. I know this person that can help you. Connect, you know, connections, you know, that you may need. So go into it positive, and if it goes negative, shut it down and go to another positive thing. Because maybe that's not the positive plug. It might not be the right plug for you. Or it might not be the right electrical circuit for you at that moment.
Like you were saying, how my mother-in-law in the past, it was a past relationship, but the past relationship was so good that in the future, when she needed the help, that person stepped in and helped. Didn't even forget what they had did in the past for them. So you can build relationships that could be in your past, that further on down the road, it can help you in your future. So that's how it did for her. You got to build good relationships. Don't be afraid to build a good relationship. Like I sometimes tell my daughter, and I tell you all too, that if you're involved with somebody that's not going in the same direction you're going in, why would you stay involved with that person? If you're going to the right and they're going to the left, but you want to get rid of that relationship, there's going to always be something going wrong in that relationship. And you pulling, it's going to be a tug of war. You pulling this way and they pulling the other way. You pulling the rope, going to pull the rope until it pop. And then when the rope pop, ain't no telling what might happen in the relationship. And I also tell her too, don't try to date someone you on this level and you want to get somebody on this level as a man, and you trying to pull him with you. Most of the time, if the man on that level, you come on and meet up with him. But you meet a man on this level, and then you got everything going for you. You taking care of what you need to take care of. You know, got your money situated, you got everything situated and established in life, and then that man don't have nothing and y'all hook up, then you'll be taking care of him, and then y'all will be going like this, you know. Then you get home, then you always arguing because y'all ain't on the same level. So you have to get somebody in relationship on your same level. On the same level, even on relationships on your job. You could be on a job with somebody not even on your same level. They're going to always try to pull you right down where they're at.
Even if it's not, I'm going to say this, even if it's not job, career level, just mind level.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the women, they have more money than the men.
Right.
But if you're mature enough to let, or maybe even have the leadership mentality, if you have the same level, mindset, okay, well, she kind of know what she's doing. She kind of can just, go ahead, I'm going to sit back and watch,
know how to navigate.
Because I may not know how to navigate something, and she know how to do it. There you go.
Right.
And I'm mature enough to know that she's not down to me as a man and not putting me down, but I'm a strong man enough that I know I'm secure in myself to let her do what she got to do, so that if maybe if it doesn't go correctly, I will be able to help her through it and be like, not saying, oh, it's your fault it didn't go correctly. But maybe, maybe we should have did a different path. Or let me try my path this time and see how it works. But if she knows what she's doing, go right ahead. Have fun. Do what you got to do. Because maybe God put it that way, that she might know. Because I'm an aggressive person, but not that aggressive. So maybe my wife's going to have to be more aggressive. So if she know how to get that aggressive, get that stuff done, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, why is she doing it? Nope, go ahead and have fun. And then I'll put my input in a minute.
Yeah.
Or I tell you, here, this is what I want to say, so can you say it for me?
Right. Being supportive to one another. You got to support in relationships too. If you don't support, so often I hear men say, some men will say, if my wife making more money than me, that's more power to her. I'm glad. We're going to work this thing together, though. That's just more money for us to have together. Instead of just saying, oh, she got all the money. No. We in a partnership here. So we're in partnership here. We got to know how to navigate this relationship to know that, yeah, you the head, you the man, but I know my place, but hey, here's what I'm bringing to the table. It's just what all you could bring to the table. Whatever we bring to the table, we're going to share. Even when I cook dinner around here, I bring it to the table. Everybody eat it. So it's whatever we bring to the table. We all going to work this thing out together, because this is what relationships is all about. In order to have a good relationship, be open. Be willing to talk. Communication is everything. Even on a job, communication. I keep bringing jobs in because we have to work in order to live.
That's the strongest
so
relationship.
You got to have job relationship with your employees. You got to have it with your co-workers. You got to know how to handle and navigate, because sometimes you can mess up so bad on your job, you can get fired from trying to, with your attitude and not knowing how to be friendly and not knowing how to communicate. So we're just talking today and encourage you on relationship. In order to build good relationships, you got to know how to treat people and talk to them. I'm the type of person, I love to be loved, and I love to have relationship with people. I love to have people around me. I love to have family around me. Relationships, because sometimes even families with sisters and brothers, y'all don't know how to have a relationship. But you got to know how to have even relationship with family. A lot of people can't do that. They, some people want to be the star in the family. We all stars because we came from the same bloodline. That's the way I look at it. We all stars. So let's just share this love and share relationship and let relationship grow. If you don't remember anything that Tammy Talk said today, I was speaking on relationship and speaking on how to have a good relationship and how to make your relationship just be beautiful and wonderful, that when people see you coming around, they're glad you're coming, because you carry a characteristic that people come to you like bees to honey, because you know how to handle a relationship, you know how to talk to people, and you know how to love on people and let the person or the people around you not be afraid to be who they are when they come around you, because I love to see the different personalities and the different characteristics of people when they come around me, and I glean from each person, because the things that I see that I like in them, I like to say, oh, I like that about them. I like that about her. Man, it's not that I say, oh, I like it and I want to be her, but I want to be him. But some of the characteristics, I say, I want to add that to my life, because the way she smiled, the way she talking, how she did that thing right there, I like that. That's something I can add to my life. So you can pick up good things even from being around people and being in different relationships. Don't be afraid to enter into relationships, and don't be afraid to exit out of a relationship. If you have to exit out of that relationship, exit out that relationship with your health, with the right frame of mind, with who you are. Don't be afraid to do it, because if you stay in the relationship that is hurting you, it's going to break you down for who you are, what God designed for you to be, and the great person you can be to so many other people in the world. So don't be afraid to exit out if you have to. But if you need help, seek help. Go seek and see a therapist. Go sit down and talk to them and tell them what you're going through. And if that don't help, just go find a preacher. Go find somebody that will help you get through the things that you're going through right now. Because relationship is everything. You cannot live in this world. I heard a lot of people say, it's okay, I'm all right all by myself. No, you're not. You cannot live in this world and be all by yourself, because there are people in this world. And people say, well, I'm okay all by myself. I often will hear young ladies say, I'm good, I don't need a man. Okay, you can say that, but you do need people. Even if in the beginning, when Adam was here, if God felt that was true, he would have just left Adam all by himself. He would have never made Eve. So he made Eve because he knew that man should not live alone. It was good for man to have a helpmeet. It was good for man to have someone there. So it's good for you to have someone in your life, to have friends and family around you. Don't seclude yourself and go in seclusion all by yourself. There are people out there that are willing to love you, want to love you, and want to be a part of your life. Just open yourself up for good relationships, because they're out there. Thank you again for joining in on the Tammy Talk Show. We thank you for chiming in. We thank you for coming out. Thank you for the comments. I thank the people that came on to listen. I see Walter Murray. I see Jalen. I see Cruz. Hey, baby, how you doing? And again, Sister Sharita. I see Mom Crawford. I see Janquel. She's on here. Dytrell, my sister, Apostle Watkins. See who else is on here. Hello. I'm glad you all came in on it. We're getting ready to go off right now, but please join us again on Sunday. And next week I have some special guests that will be coming in. Will be on from Detroit. He's going to talk to you all concerning his relationship with his son and how God blessed him to get his son. Any of you all that will be listening to me on next week, we'll be talking about the Father's Day. We'll be talking about all the fathers, because it's coming up to Father's Day. And so I have a young man that will be on, and on Sunday, there will be my brothers, the husband, and my son. They will be doing the Father's Day talk on Father's Day, telling you about being a good father and how to be a good father and all that good stuff. So please tune in next time on the Tammy Talk Show. I love you much, and thank you for listening. I'll see you again. God bless.